Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our program. We are getting lined up for tonight's show. Um, on Isshinryu MATS, we're going to have a featured guest. Today's date is October 3rd, 2024. I'm broadcasting live from an on location site, and that what we're trying to do here is get our audience, build some awareness so we can spread this link around for tonight. It'll be at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We'll have Sensei on the program. So um, I think what we're going to do tonight is we're going to offer it on the Facebook feed that I have. So we can take that link then and spread that around because he's from Long Island. I met him at a seminar about, I guess, last weekend. I was with him down here in North Carolina. He came to Morrisville, went to a seminar, and I met him there. And uh, I invited him on the program, so he's going to come on tonight. And I guess, one of the things that we do at the program is try to promote the show and build awareness. So we'd like to give a shout out to, some of our friends that have supported us, through the years with this effort, having featured guests, different topics, talking about the students, different events that you may be having, such as seminars, workshops, uh, let's say dojo to dojo. Um, uh, I don't want to say competitions, but basically that's what it is. When we come to your house, we do some katas, we do some fighting, do some workouts, um, uh, drills. And it's not like we're being judged or anything, but it does help us with our competitive edge to see how some of the other schools are working on kata, working on drills, all of these things, all of these tools that we use to work out. And one of the amazing things that comes out of that is a wonderful sense of camaraderie from dojo to dojo. So, again, I'm 65 years old. I'm still going to seminars. I'm still learning. I'm still working out, still teaching. So, all of the representatives around this area, um, I guess now what has it been, about 12, maybe, yeah, about 12 years I'm down here in North Carolina. And all the representatives down here in my area, I guess you would say I'm from the Raleigh area of North Carolina. It's probably the most populous city. Plus, it's our capital. So, um, in this Raleigh area, we have a lot of working senseis, if you will, guys that have men and women that have their own dojos. And during the week, we attend some of the classes that um, are offered. Um, let's say, like on a Wednesday night, 7 to 9 o'clock is the adults class. So, we'll get together with a couple of the black belts. We'll take a ride to the dojo and we'll go and we'll work out, at different dojos. Again, what this brings to the table is more featured guests for the program, because we like to get those senseis on the program and have them talk about their dojo, their students, any competitions that they're having or that they're going to. Because a lot of dojos now have ways and means because of the, I guess, the pandemic. They have ways and means of using social media to promote, especially kata, especially team kata. If you can make a video at your dojo, which most people write on their cell phone, they can make a video and post that video on their school's website or even on their YouTube channel, whatever. As long as you can share the link and uh, you know pass it around, so to speak. So what we've done is we've itemized all the 8 empty hand katas of Isshinryu, all the Kabuto katas, the uh, what's called the chart 1 and chart 2 basic exercises, upper body, lower body, and we have on our channel all these uh, different videos that you can access. Um, I have some of them marked where to be requested, and then we'll send it to you. So again, this is our 14th year now of doing this platform, working on inviting different people to the radio program, and also, um, through social media, discussing some of the topics that people are asking us, to broadcast, such as empty hand kata or kabuto kata or drills or whatever. Um, the empty hand katas we tend to talk a lot about because they're required for you to learn in order for you to, you know, advance in your knowledge about kata and how it applies, and some of the bunkai that goes into, well, not some, but all of the bunkai that goes into building the meaning of these movements in your mind. So, one of the things that we talk about on the program is how long does it take to learn a kata? Um, what are the requirements for me to be recognized as knowing this kata for my rank? So let's say at white belt you learn the Seisan kata, right? And we teach you chart 1 and chart 2, and then we teach you the kata. Because actually, the way it goes is, if you learn chart 1 and chart 2, you now have the dynamics and the architecture of Isshinryu karate in you. You know how to snap a punch, you know how to do a block, you know how to, you know, transition your stances properly. So now when we teach you this kata, you learn basically from chart 1 and chart 2 how to apply the movements with the Isshinryu architecture in you. So how long does it take to learn a kata? Well, let me put it to you this way. I've been studying the Isshinryu version of Seisan kata pretty much all my life. It's the first kata that they taught me, along with the Sanchin principles of breathing and that dynamic tension on your body to execute certain movements in the Seisan kata. Um, so let me say this. Can I replicate what they taught me in movements and with the Isshinryu concepts and principles? Yes, I try my best every day to accomplish that, at least when I do the kata. But when you say, do you know the kata? Well, to me, in order for me to know Seisan and know Seisan to a degree that it becomes part of me, it becomes my kata, it becomes how I um, administer the movements in Seisan and what they're meant, and what I can do to protect myself by using the means and methods in Seisan. So when you say how long does it take to learn a kata, you can learn a kata as a white belt and replicate it time and time and time again and get better and better at it every day. However, How much of the kata do you know? You know its origin. Um, you know it's in Isshinryu. It happens to be a black belt kata. In other styles, the seisan that we do is a black belt kata. In other styles, however, we introduce it to you from the get go because we teach you chart one and chart two, and that is the essence, the basic architecture of how you're to administer Isshinryu karate. That's the you know that's the real teaching. The chart one and chart two again is the real essence of what we want an Isshinryu practitioner to look like when viewed by others. So the delivery, um, they give us these pointers to build our delivery, and it starts with the stances. So in Seisan stance, Seiyuchin stance, when you transition stances in these katas, it is essential that you do it properly because you're vulnerable when you're moving around and you're not paying attention to your weight. And in kata, it's a constant manipulation of movement and how you balance the movement being as the weight moves. If it's off balance, you will create more weight. So when you move in the kata, it's essential that you move in a balanced way. So um, there's so much to learn that how how can you say to yourself in your heart, all right, I'm really starting to understand Seisan Kata now. I've been drilling it for 50 years. I've been taking movements out of the kata and using them for my own exchanges, block, double strike, kick, punch. Take out certain exchanges from the kata and build my fluidity, my fluency. Yeah, learn how to manipulate my balance so that when I'm moving and turning, I'm maintaining a good posture. Um, where I'm not vulnerable because I'm creating weight because of my movement. So again, when my students ask me, Sensei, how long will it take me to learn this kata? Well, I tell them rather quickly. I mean, you can learn the movements, in a couple of months, I guess. If you really work on it, you can memorize the movements in maybe even a couple of weeks, all depending on how much of a sponge you are to remember all the different sequences in the kata from start to finish. So let's say it takes you a quarter, 3 months. In that 3 months, you'll learn how to replicate what we taught you in that 3 months over and over and over and over again and never stop doing it. You'll always do it that way. Will you get better at placement and targets and all this stuff, the breathing, the stances, the stance transitions? Yes. Practice will um, help you, tremendously when you practice. So the more you practice, the more you'll understand. The more you'll drive yourself to read books, do the movements, try to apply the movements to your drills. A lot of things you'll learn a lot of things about um, how to learn the kata if you really care. The history of it, of course, the origins, and then um, the Isshinryu version of Seisan. Uh, uh, um, well, how do I explain this? The Isshinryu version of Seisan. Seisan exists in a lot of different styles on the island of Okinawa. It's a staple kata. as I said, in other styles, it's a black belt form. So in Isshinryu, we try our best to um, really work on chart 1 and chart 2 so that when you throw a kick, when you throw a punch, when you do your movements, you have that, since I used to call it think light, Danny, you know, uh, very nonchalant, very relaxed, very natural. Isshinryu adapts to your, you don't adapt to Isshinryu. Isshinryu adapts to your body mechanic and how you move and your fluidity. So we find it very interesting. Like I went to a seminar, like I said last weekend, where it was a Shorin Ryu um, discipline that they were teaching Matsubayashi Shorin Ryu. My friend Jerry Figiani and his team came down to North Carolina in Morrisville, and they visited, a dojo and gave a seminar. So I went, for the whole weekend. I spent the whole weekend, and I got to meet some people that practice Shorin in my area. I mean, Morrisville's about, I'd say, maybe an hour from my house, and that's only because of traffic. If it was no traffic, probably 35 minutes. But I met some people and learned some things about the approach of what things mean and bunkai and so on and so forth. I'm like a sponge like that. And then what came out of that is that we're really all the same. Whether Isshinryu, Goju-Ryu, Shorin-Ryu, we're really all the same because our goal is karate for defense only, and that we look to protect our self and our family. Whatever means and methods we need to use to do that with empty hands or a weapon is what we practice. And then your level of violence. What is your, what are you capable of? What is your level of violence? What is your mindset? What are you actually trying to do here? And that matters because it's what's going to come out of you. You know what I mean? So, all right, folks, we talked a little bit today. I wanted to see what I have to do to get people into the stream and how to invite, let's say, a featured guest on here. What would I have to do? So we'll see you tonight on the program. Thanks for tuning in.